Hey everybody, it's Gregory and Natika McPherson.
Hold on. Sorry, Fit. How you
turn y'all heads, y'all ain't supposed to be looking. Oh, it's sorry.
We roll.
Sorry.
I'm good. I ain't fool, but you know what I'm saying. I'm like the country people say, I'm comfortable.
The name of our show is Getting to Know Marriage. And this is Gregory and I'm Natika McPherson.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
I was just expecting me to introduce myself. I didn't know you was gonna do it like that. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, he was expecting you to say, "This is Tika," and
right. I'm Gregory. But it's nah. Go ahead and do it the way you did. That's cool.
We want to know, since you, Mr. Gregory.
You can call me Big G.
Big G. Okay, Big G.
Easier.
We want to know, since you've been on both sides of the fence in an interracial relationship and now dating a African American queen, what's the difference? And if there is any difference?
So right quick before he answers that, some of you may not know, my husband's ex-wife is a white woman. His children's mother is a white woman. So that's what we're referring to. Bam.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. To me, culture is a big difference. That's one of the things that is different. Culture. I can't sit here and make it about the person, because everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? So it's the culture that they come from. So that was one difference that set us apart. And another thing that set us apart, which is something that neither one of us can control, no matter what race you is sex. Because when I had sex with a black woman, it was like an unspoken bond. You know, there was a connection that neither one of us had to even verbally mention. Just automatic. That's the difference that I see, you know what I'm saying, in someone of a different race. You know, it don't even have to be just white. It could be any other race, because like I said, it really falls back to culture. That's the difference to me. Bam.
So is it safe to say that we can take the stigma from your eyes off of, it don't matter whether it's a black woman or a white woman when it comes to love?
Love, no, that's deeper. Love is a spiritual thing. You know, love is something you can't see, but you feel it. You know what I'm saying? You know, to me, it don't matter what race you are, we all are human. You know, as long as we can speak the same language, we can understand each other. You know, so I'm not going to say it's just the same if you date someone outside of your race because of culture, because culture is natural. You know, that's what you was raised doing. It's very, very, very hard to change that. So 9 times out of 10, you just have to accept it.
Right.
So that's what it's about for me.
And if I can add to it, I think as far as love, I can't speak to another race, but the way I see it, as far as love, it goes back to what my husband and I, we always say. This is our opinion, even getting to know marriage. This is our personal experiences. But if you really think about it, love is no different than anything else, you know. So the person that you connect with individually, there are a lot of things that we are raised to believe. You shouldn't date outside your race. You can't love outside of your gender. You can't love outside of your religion. You can't love all of these stipulations. But to me, it doesn't really matter. That's a personal thing. And I can't tell you that because you're black with a white woman, it's not real love, or because you're a woman with a woman, that's not real love, or because you're a Christian with an atheist, that's not. I have no control over that. That's an individual thing. So, it's a lot of people that, my husband is 4 years younger than I am. There's a lot of people that would have something to say about age, but who really cares? And when you feel it, you feel it. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. When you feel it and you don't apologize for it, that's when you know it's real.
Predominantly.
Okay.
So you was one of those ones that was kind of culture shock when you came into the black society?
I wouldn't say that. I got her pregnant.
Moved in with him.
Yeah, I got an apartment, you know what I'm saying? Because her parents kicked her out when they found out she was pregnant, so I got an apartment that we could stay together. And when they found out, they told me if I didn't kick her out, then they would dispel ship me. And I told them I wasn't going to just put her out on the street, so they dispel ship me. I was about...
How the hell you get kicked out the church? That's another one right
Well,
there.
because she was
How
over
you get kicked out the church when the church is the one that's supposed to be there for the disheartened, the brokenhearted, the broken, the hurt, the abused. Y'all are supposed to
But
be
see, but you
a
gotta
place
look at-
of refuge, and that's one thing that gets me because
They are.
No.
no.
They have their own.
But
Well, let me... Okay, because I'll explain to you how they run it down.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but even in, they supposed to be a place of refuge, and when it comes to religion, even if you Muslim, you can be Hindu, Buddhism, you can be Jehovah's Witness, you can be Christians, Baptists, what all that Pentecostal, all that falls up under religion. When you take the actual spirituality part out of it. And that's one of the things of, I love God, I believe in God, because God himself is prevalent so much in my life. But when it comes to the churches and the religion, I feel like I don't belong because they've turned it not so much into about love and a place of peace and refuge. It's now business.
It's a business, it's a clique.
And different, like tribes, and if you're not speaking my language, you don't belong. Or if you don't do what I want you to do, you don't belong.
Right.
So I feel like...
And people tie that in with God. So if they don't follow that church,
They say you don't follow God.
Right.
And that's what I experienced because I was raised in church. My dad started pastoring when I was 15 years old. And I got pregnant a couple months after he started pastoring. So initially, because of church, knowing what the expectation was, when I got pregnant, I ran away because I didn't want to be an embarrassment to my parents. So when they found out, I wrote them a letter and I let them know, I just don't want to embarrass y'all. I know you just started pastoring and this is probably going to have an effect on it. But thank God my parents are very loving people. So immediately he got in touch with me and was like, you need to come home. We're going to deal with this. But even though my parents loved me through it, the church we were at, nobody, it was like I had leprosy. They don't want their kids around you. They don't want you around. But meanwhile, y'all using my parents. My parents do everything in the church. They give to everybody. We got to help everybody. But nobody was there to help me. Now, when I started pastoring myself, I was pastoring. Everybody loves you because she following Bishop Mills and, oh, she's such a blessing and God uses her and we want her around. People was calling me. Other people's church members was getting guidance from me. When I announced to the church that my ex-husband asked for a divorce, first it was, oh God, we love you, such. And then me, out of decency, because I am who I am, I'm a pastor. I was an overseer. I don't want y'all to look up and find me with some man like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm a whole human being. Praise God, everybody. I have been dating somebody, so if you see me, I'm not going to spring nothing on you out of respect. Immediately, everybody from my church family, those that were under me, those that were over me, my father, who is my bishop, everybody shut down, especially because he was Jehovah's Witness. So it was like, okay, first of all, you got a divorce, which when I was going through it, everybody was so understanding. We know what you're going through, but we're going to pray for you. God will work it out. But when I take a step, everybody cut me off. And when I say I gave 100% to the church, out of my heart, out of my pocket, out of everything, I gave 100%. When I looked up, nobody was there. When I say nobody, it was only him.
Have that made y'all more freer to
Because you
love,
feel like
to
you don't have to
live?
follow
Yes,
rules.
to love and live and be who you are.
That's
It
right.
made, and now where before I'm like, oh God, my dad is a bishop. I gotta be careful. I can't put this on Facebook. Okay, at the end of the day, guess what? It's me and God. Y'all showed me that it's me and God. I thought it was me and y'all against the world, but y'all showed me I don't need y'all. It's me and God. So at the end of the day, this is who I am.
So is it safe to say that the blessing's still raining and falling?
Overflowing.
Okay.
Because I came from up under that. I go to church now every now and then because I love praise and worship. I'm a music person. I feel uncomfortable in the church at this point. And my parents, of course, ask me, y'all need to go, when you gonna go? I'm uncomfortable in church because I feel like I don't belong there. Because you trying to manipulate my mind. And that's not okay.
And me growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, definitely going to a church was weird for me.
So it was an eye opener.
Because the Kingdom Halls are quiet, like a
Yeah.
classroom. The church is like, oh my God, I went to a church like maybe the second time, and it was for a funeral. And a lady called herself catching the Holy Spirit, well, I respect that now. But back then, I was like, what the heck? And because she slapped me. She was just up and boom, boom, and just slapped me across the face. But I didn't do nothing, because she was steady going through the motions. But it was definitely an eye-opener for me. I'm like, why y'all so loud in here? When somebody pray, y'all be talking about you, Jesus. I'm like, that's disrespectful.
Y'all talking while they praying.
Because, as a Jehovah's Witness, you don't do that. Like, shh, be quiet. But in the church, everybody is hooping and hollering, saying whatever they want to say. And it's not disrespectful. I didn't understand that. But it's a lot I didn't understand, coming up as a Jehovah's Witness versus being in the church.
And the only reason I go now, to be honest with you, my dad and I are very, very, very close. We always have been. But when I went through that phase, we hit a very, very rough patch to the point we weren't speaking, and it almost tore me apart. And to be honest, that's what caused me to say, okay, God, this is who you made me, so I'm going to just be that. And if I'm going to be this, then you got to fix this with me and my dad. And eventually, he just accepted me for who I am. But the only reason I do go to church now is when I go back home, only because my dad has cancer and is terminal, and that's what he do. He a preacher. You know what I'm saying? So I only go because I don't never know when it's going to be his last time. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good. And if other people want to do that, more power to you. I'm not knocking nothing. But that ain't for me. My mom said to me, you got to remember, the Bible says, forsake not yourself the assembling. It does. It says, forsake not yourself the assembling of others for the sake of edifying and encouraging, uplifting one another, right? But it don't say go to church to be with people. So as far as we're concerned, and we talk about this all the time, this is the assembling to edify and encourage, because you have that same feeling.
Like you walk away feeling,
and you walk away like, you know what?
I just learned
I'm about to conquer this fucking world.
Well, thank y'all for the behind the scenes questions.
Love you guys.
Damn.